Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Dr. Kiersten Wise. She's with the University of Kentucky's Extension Plant Pathologist there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you're here to talk about a corn crop that, you know, it seemed like it was a little challenging, a little late getting it out, but it has really taken off now.
That's right. And even though growth stages vary across the state, in a lot of areas we're approaching that timing where we need to be thinking about whether or not a fungicide application is needed.
And I think that makes it somewhat even more challenging that we have such variations in growth stages because timing is very important.
Yes, and the timing of the fungicide application is really going to make or break whether or not you see a profitable response from that application. And so our research at the University of Kentucky has really shown that the tasseling early silking timing is going to be the time where you're not only going to get the best disease control, but you're also most likely to see an economic benefit from those applications.
And Kiersten, it seems like the corn has just jumped, just grown, like you can almost watch it grow. So getting that timing and being on top of it is sometimes challenging.
Yes, and so this is where I've started to get a lot of questions about whether or not we should be applying fungicides at more of the late vegetative stages, more that V12 to V14 range. And some of this is coming from the fact that, you know, the corn crop did get in a little bit later, so it's going to be at a stage where we're having weather that is conducive for foliar diseases like gray leaf spot. All this humidity, frequent rainfall, that's all going to be conducive for disease. And so I've been asked if we should be applying fungicides at that earlier timing. Now, there are some pros to applying at that timing. One would be that it's easy to get over with ground equipment, so you may not have to contract an aerial applicator to spray those fields. But there are some things that we need to consider when we're thinking about that timing as well. One would be efficacy. Now, we have a little bit of research at the University of Kentucky that shows that in low disease pressure years, that those fungicide applications at those timings can be as beneficial as a tasseling timing. But there is something that farmers really need to be aware of if they're going to apply fungicides at that early timing. Now, if those timings go on prior to tassel, they need to remember to leave any surfactants out of the tank. Non-ionic surfactants are often included in fungicide applications, but they can cause some issues with ear deformities. And so we have a picture of what commonly happens with these, and it's going to be something called arrested ear development. And it's going to basically produce a shorter ear that has a deformed tip. And this is a result of that non-ionic surfactant.
Okay, and so that's major if you're doing it at that time.
That's right. So once the plant hits tasseling, it's fine to include non-ionic surfactants in the tank. But if it occurs prior to tasseling, we need to leave those adjuvants and surfactants out of that application.
Okay, so a very important tip to know there. And, you know, since everybody's going to have different stages, it's probably just important to be in those fields.
That's right. So scouting is going to be really critical this year to know when what the growth stage is and sort of when that plant is approaching tasseling. We also want to think about, you know, in a lot of cases there's a lot of fields to scout, and so it's very easy to miss that very early tasseling, early silking window and maybe spray our fungicides a little bit too late as well. There's been sort of a push to approach those applications at brown silk, but that's actually going to be too late to see some of the benefits that we should see from these fungicide applications.
Okay, so that timing is super important, and our window is a little short.
That's right, yes. And so my advice for farmers this year is to get out and scout. If they're going to be spraying early, that's fine. Just leave those adjuvants out of the tank and make sure they know when that tasseling window is, because remember, once you get into that brown silk or see those brown silks, it may be too late to see all of the benefits that we would expect from the fungicide application.
Okay, and the brown silking, when does that usually occur?
So the technical agronomic definition of brown silk is also the blister growth stage.
Okay.
But if you're out there in the field at blister, lots of times you won't really see that brown coloration to the silks. And so once you see fully brown silks, it's probably more in that milk stage, and things can get a little bit, at that point in time, you probably aren't going to see the full benefits of a fungicide.
So number one thing is timing, being in your fields, knowing what stage all your fields are in, and then making these decisions accordingly.
That's right.
All right. Well, I know we have information at the University of Kentucky to help people make decisions about applying fungicides.
That's right. We have a lot of resources that are available at the University of Kentucky Plant Pathology page.
All right. Well, thanks, Kiersten, for being here with us today. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact us. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.